I want to welcome everybody here this first Sunday in December. It's a beautiful day out there. I think it's a harbinger of what's to come the rest of the month. We're supposed to have good weather. I'm just sure of it. Just wanted to remind you to put your phones on airplane mode or shut them off for the people on Zoom to be able to hear better. And now it's time to stand, if you can, and join us in singing Worship in Song, number 307, Earth Was Given as a Garden.
Good morning, friends. Good to see everyone here today on what must surely be the finest annual day in Fairfield's life, Snowflake Sunday. It's time to decorate our tree. And in case you haven't been here in the past 35 years or so, I'll explain how this is done. As we are singing, we start with this group right here, and then this group, and this group, and this group, and we dismiss ourselves row by row. We head toward the back, loop around, are presented with a snowflake, can come around back here and place it on the tree. If you are tall, please take care to put your snowflake up high and reserve the lower regions for those who are vertically challenged. So let us stand Joanne, I think I got it all right. Is that it? That's everything we need to know? Finally, after 25 years, I got this down. And just keep singing. We'll start with Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and then Angels We Have Heard on High, and Joy to the World in our green hymnal. Number 64.
Well, it's time for the centering thought, but I'm going to have to take a minute to catch my breath after all this. I have in here in my hand a pencil. It's just a simple pencil, not very mighty on its own. It's easily snapped in two. You see? But oh, the devastation it can write into being. And on the other hand, the encouragement it can ignite and the good things that it can put into motion, all depending on the writer and the writer's intent. Last week, Paula stood up and she shared her pledge to write one letter a day to an elected official, just one letter a day. But at the end of the week, that's 7 letters. At the end of the month, that's 30 letters. At the end of the year, that's 365 letters. And I have thought about that all week. And it's Paula's testimony that inspired the poem that I'm about to read, adapted from a poem by Albert Guest. And it's called Don't Quit. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is hard with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he was so very close to the victor's cup. Success can be failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And you can never tell just how close you are. It could be near, though it could be far. Please stick to the fight when your hardest hit. It's when things seem the worst that you must not quit. I showed you how easy it is to take one little pencil and snap it into two. However, if I took 30 individual pencils and I put them in a bundle and I asked Frank Gladden to snap that bundle, I venture to say he couldn't do it. Now, Frank is a seasoned farmer with large, strong hands. Hold your hands up, Frank, and show us. There we go. There we go. Don't challenge him to a fight. In a little bit, Frank is going to sing a song about lighting one candle of hope, just one candle of hope. One candle doesn't emit much light, but it can be a beacon to someone lost in the dark. If 365 candles were lit, who knows what could happen? So Paula, keep up the good work. Keep on trucking, as some would say. You're going to accomplish good things. Don't quit.
Friends, now it's time for our community sharing. We'll start with if anybody has an announcement they'd like to make, starting with the folks on Zoom. We ask that you state your name so we know who's talking. Seeing somebody waving on Zoom.
Hi, this is Teresa, and I am the Family Promise Coordinator for the meals that we provide for the homeless shelter. And we support the evening meals for the last week during December. So that's December 22nd to the 28th. If anybody would like to join the program or sign up, the sign-up sheet is there on the way to the cafeteria there in the meeting house. And we also we reinforce the stocking of the resource center. So those are our 2 tasks. But if ever you want to donate anything to the families who are getting back on their feet. You can bring it in, and Joanne, thank you, Joanne Farrington, for offering to take those to the Resource Center on Monday, the 23rd. So anyway, I want to thank everyone for volunteering. If anybody wants to learn more about the program, just let me know. I'll be glad to team up with you or let you know more about what it takes to provide a meal for what may be 5 families.
Are there any announcements from folks in the meeting house?
Thank you. Anita Kamek, and I just wanted to remind everyone that I am going to be presenting the composting program, the Fairfield composting program, after worship today. I'll be in the dining room, and there will be a light lunch provided. So if you're interested and want to learn more about the program that's going to happen here, just meet us in the dining room, probably noonish, I would say, just long enough so that I can get food out. So hope to see you there. Thanks.
Good morning, friends. This is Becky Horton again, but it's not about Kunat this time. It's Outreach's Chords of Love collection. There was an article in the newsletter, and I believe, Jeff Gabbard put out a message to the whole meeting, and it's called Chords of Love. It's takes place, or it's sponsored in Brownsburg by a gal named Becca Campbell. And these things that we're going to collect are for low-income cancer patients, disabled and chronically ill people, as well as senior citizens. And the items that are being requested are toilet paper, dish soap, vegetable oil, paper towels, canned soups, canned vegetables, laundry soap, coffee, and fruit juices. And this is actually being spearheaded by another committee member, Cindy Hurst, but she's not here, so that's why I'm making the announcement. And we will, sorry, thank you, Joanne. What would I do without you? The collection will continue through December 15th.
Suzanne Tarvin for Ministry and Council, and I want to remind everybody of the Christmas pitch-in next Sunday. Ministry and Council will provide a ham and a turkey, thank you, Mike, and a vegetarian entree of some sort. Haven't made up my mind yet. And other than that, it's a pitch-in. You know what to do.
This is Laurie Cordray, the ex officio member of the Library Committee. And your last chance to buy books are probably today. We'll be taking those down and storing them till next year.
Friends, please join me for a time of prayer. Dear loving God, please help us to compost the things in our lives that we see as garbage or useless, and help us to transform that into roses and food. Please be with those experiencing need this season, those who may not have shelter or food or clothes. Please be with those who are in the hospital. Please be with those in education, from the preschoolers to the PhD candidates, and the staff and administrators and teachers that fill those institutions. We thank you for birthdays and anniversaries and bringing us all together in this time and place. Please help us to realize again and again and again that there is no lonesome road. For this we pray. Amen.
Keep having to lower this. I don't know why. I am so proud to be part of a group that gives to the community in the way that it does with the QNOT and your program of giving to babies and helping other people. I'm so proud of that. Every Sunday, we pass the baskets around and we pass the wagon for any contributions that you have that go to QNOT. I want to remind you that if you want to give to the funds of the church, there are 2 collection plates on the back or at the back, or you can go online and give that way. So do I have some volunteers up here to carry some baskets, some nice strong men and women?
I was going to say, Rita, you're stronger than mine.
And that's the truth.
Look at those strong women. Thank you, Hadley. Thank you, Joe.
I'll inherit, I'll take in any of them.
Well, it's very nice sitting up here this time of year when the sun comes in and you can just see that beam of light moving. It goes across the room, and people who were in its glare are so relieved when it passes, and it moves this way. And so now Mitra and Karen Hall look radiant and holy. Oh my gosh. My gosh. Steve, it's going to be on you in just a little bit, so prepare yourself. Be ready. Well, I hope you all had a good holiday. We had a wonderful Thanksgiving at our house. Most of the family came in. My vegan brother had to go to another Thanksgiving party, so he wasn't there to pass judgment on us meat eaters, which he does. He's a nice man. He always has been very tender-hearted, and it isn't in his nature to look down his nose at anyone, but at Thanksgiving he is inclined to do that. He said last year, he said, "Let me bring the turkey." We said, "You are a vegan. What do you have in mind?" And he said, "Well, it's made of tofu." And I said, "Absolutely not. Thanksgiving is not the time for novelty. No. I want Thanksgiving to be the same way it was when I was a kid growing up in the 1960s. The same menu, the same people, the same conversations, the same tired family jokes. That's what I want. Thanksgiving is not a time for experimentation. So I told him no. I said, now is not the time to change the rules. Let's stick with the tried and true. So we've been talking about the do's and don'ts in times of social change, and today I invite us to consider a theme I thought I would never give, but I am this year, and this is the importance of tradition and timelessness and continuity. There is a time for novelty and experimentation, but in times of profound social change, there is much to be said for holding fast to what we know to be good, true, and helpful. And while not every tradition is helpful, while not every tradition has contributed to human progress, some traditions endure because they have enduring value. They foster mutual respect. They promote dignity and equality. They advance understanding and enlightenment. Some traditions endure because they deserve to endure. There are moments in history, and this, I believe, is just such a moment, when it is incumbent upon us to remember and abide by those traditions that have served us well. Now, in a family, those enduring traditions are tenderness and mutuality. I wouldn't want to belong to a family where those traditions were scorned. Would you? In a church, those enduring traditions are grace, compassion, justice, and service. I wouldn't want to belong to any church where those traditions were scorned. Would you? In a democracy, those traditions are compromise, cooperation, equality, the rule of law, effective participation, civility, majority rule, minority rights, and fair and free elections. I would not want to live in any nation where those traditions were scorned. Would you? When I see traditions cast aside in order to give a relative few an oversized advantage, I become very old-fashioned. And I say, now is not the time to change the rules. Let us stick with the proven good. Now is the time to hold fast to what we know to be helpful and true. Often in times of change, there are those who say our problems are insurmountable, that our challenges are so daunting and discouraging that new approaches are needed. We are told that traditions that have served us well for so long are no longer appropriate, no longer helpful, no longer adequate, and there is a headlong rush to embrace new practices, new ways of living together. But have you ever noticed how often those new practices give the powerful and privileged an inordinate advantage? How often those new practices leave so many behind while moving the relative few to the front of the line. Have you noticed that? This time of year, my mind and my memories often return to my mother. So this past week, I was thinking of my mother's favorite sayings, her favorite sayings, and perhaps they were not unique to her. Perhaps your mother said them too. They were in order of frequency. Who do you think you are? You ever hear that one? No. One day, you'll thank me. And my personal favorite, are your legs broken? But my mother had another saying she reserved for those times when I did something beyond the pale. That's not how you were raised. Did you ever hear that one? That's not how you were raised. Which of course was meant to remind me that I was raised in a tradition of decency, that it was incumbent upon me to remember and abide by those time-honored traditions that have served us well. Sometimes entire cultures and communities must be told the same thing. That's not how we were raised. Today, I hear some in our nation want to send immigrants away, people in the same circumstances as my Catholic grandfather, who left Belgium and came to America at the age of 6 in 1913 at the height of anti-Catholic sentiment. When he went to school, he was told he didn't belong in America, that he was too stupid to learn English, that he should go home to Belgium. He never had an ally, someone to take his side, so left school in the 4th grade. He never forgot that, and to his dying day could not tolerate intolerance. If he were still living, he would have something to say about this rush to condemn and exclude. And I know exactly what he would say. He'd say what my mother always said, that's not how we were raised. Today, some are singling out gay people and trans people for ridicule and retribution, painting them as monsters and abusers, making their lives a fresh and living hell. But that is not how we were raised. Today, some want to funnel the vast resources of our nation into the pockets of a privileged few, leaving the middle income and poor to fend for themselves. But that is not how we were raised. At the end of our meeting for worship today, Frank Gladden will sing One Little Candle, a long-time Fairfield tradition. Today, some would extinguish that candle and have us walk in darkness, but that is not how we were raised. I don't have to tell you that, though, do I? You know that. We know that. We remember how we were raised. We know what our mothers and fathers taught. We know what our teachers taught. We know what Jesus taught. And we all know there are moments in history, and this is just such a moment, when it is incumbent upon us to remember and abide by those traditions which have served us well. I am becoming more old-fashioned these days. Every day I grow fonder of the proven good, the time-tested truths, the open heart, the welcoming hand. In these times of change, friends, don't ever forget how we were raised.
Friends, as we approach the end of our time in worship together, we'll sing from hymn 53, Come Thou Long Expected Jesus, in the green hymnal. We're going to close with a song. Frank and Helene, can you come forward, please? Here's how we do this. You should have been given a candle. If you haven't, raise your hand and we'll get one to you. Jackson, can you take care of that? Thank you. We form in a circle, and as the lit candle comes to us, we light our candle and then light the next person. So gather in a circle, friends. We used to do this in pitch dark. Now we do it in light, but we're going to turn off our lights, and if you squint your eyes so you can just see the pinpoints of candlelight, it works. I don't have a candle. Oh, okay. Here, Joni. Hey, Joanne. Don't be bashful. Come on up. Come on up. Oh, he just needs the mic here. And then are we going to sing Silent Night afterwards? Okay, great. Just one. I do.
started coming down here to Fairfield in 1961. We went to a little Friends church up at the center, and they went out of the yearly meeting, so there's 5 family members came down here. And I think we sung this song a time or two at the center, and I started in the in the winter of 1961. Libby came up to me and said she wanted to come today to listen to me, and she wasn't even born when we started. So that's how long it's been since we've been singing this song.
And your way is hard to
Friends, not just this week, but every week. Not just this season, but every season. Remember how you were raised. Remember those qualities that bring forth the best in you, that open your heart, that expand your mind. Remember always, friends, how you were raised. Turn and greet friends.